Hey YouTube, welcome back to Ray's Rides. Saturday morning, we're in the garage and we're going to be PPFing the 1300 GS Adventure. So we're going to pop back into the kitchen. I'll show you what I've brought from a company called Invisible Patterns, the UK based, and I've received the kit during this week. So yeah, we're going to give it a go. But before we do, I'm going to show you the Urban GS and my first attempt at PPF filming the Urban GS. I'm happy with it. It does the job, and the reason I wrap it, I don't buy the sort of like the gel 3D stickers. I like to keep my tanks all natural and things like that, so I just buy the clear film. But it's got the side panel here to obviously stop for scuffs, and then it's got this panel that sits over the top here for obviously zips and things like that as well. I just don't like to scuff the paintwork. But you can see my first effort, if I zoom in, didn't go too bad, but I've got this little crease in here, and I'm really hoping I can not get that same result in here. I'm really hoping I can actually just get it all in one go. And I think the problem is I didn't heat the film up enough, and it wasn't what's the word, Ray? Come on, malleable or pliable. Anyway, I didn't do it enough, and I ended up with this little kind of crease here, but you can't really see it. But I think it's because the tank's curved that way, but then also down there as well. But we'll pop into the kitchen, I'll show you what I've got, and then we'll get wrapping on the GSA. Okay, so here's the kit. So what do you get? So basically, obviously, you've got the transfers here. So this is a tank only kit. So you get the two sides, you get the little section that goes in between the welds of the tank, and then you've got an upper section that covers the fuel cap area as well, and they're the most common areas that you're going to get scuffs and marks and things like that. And as I say, I'm not really interested in the gel stickers and all that kind of stuff. I just like the look of the tank as it is. So clear PPF film. It comes in two options. You've got a matte or you've got a gloss. Obviously I've gone for the gloss because the tank is glossy. I don't think a matte look would work on the triple black. So that's your kit, which you can probably see slightly better just there. And then what you also get is a bottle of what they call their magic solution, but I believe it's Johnson's bubble bath. But it doesn't look like there's anything in there, but there's a couple of drops, and you fill that up with lukewarm water. You've got some instructions, and then you get a little squeegee with it as well. But what I did off of Amazon was just brought some slightly larger ones for about £8–9, a couple of different sizes in there just to help with the larger surface area of the tank. So we'll pop back out to the garage and we'll make a start on fitting it. Okay, we're going to start with a nice small easy bit there that just goes on the tank there, just to avoid your jacket or your zip or buttons scratching there. So what I've done already is just pre-warmed that slightly with a hairdryer, but I've also used a little bit of panel wipe to get any kind of wax or any contaminants off there. And as I say, just use the hairdryer to blow all the dust off on that, because it's a bit like fitting a mobile phone screen. If you've got any contaminant underneath that, when you stick it on, it's going to look horrible with a little bubble and things like that. So cleared that as best you can. Cut this out, and then this is the bottle here. You can see that there is some soapy sud stuff in the top, so that's filled up with tepid water. And then what I'm going to do, and what it suggests in the instructions, is you spray your fingers eventually when this starts to work. There we go, coming through now. Spray your fingers, and the reason for doing that is when you peel off the sticker, you're not going to get fingerprints on there. So spray your fingers, and I think the key to this is plenty of water on there. So once you've done that, you can peel this off. So I cut round these to make it a little bit easier rather than peeling off the individual sheet. So peel it off just like so. Spray the back of that. They say in the instructions it's better to have too much water than not enough, because you can squeegee it all out. And then we're going to stick that on. Now, as you can see, it goes on. Sorry, the light's probably not very good, and it slides around quite easy. So I want to line up the bottom so that it's just underneath the seat area. So that's about right. And then with your squeegee, you kind of hold it where you want and just squeegee the water out, so making sure it's nice and central. And the advantage of buying one of these kits is they've laser cut them to be exactly where you need them to kind of be, rather than just buying a big sheet and doing it yourself. So squeegee that around. I've slightly gone off center there, so I'm going to move that over just a little bit. So I prefer this because with the gel resin stickers you get, you've basically got one shot at sticking it on, and once it's on, it's quite hard to peel off. So the idea of the squeegee is to get all the bubbles out and get as much water out from underneath the film as much as, or as best as you can. And they say to apply this in 15 degrees plus, so that's why I'm kind of using a hairdryer, because February in the UK in a garage, when it's been damp the night before, we're definitely not 15 degrees plus. But once you're happy with that, then get your hairdryer. And what the hairdryer will do is just get rid of the water and activate the adhesive underneath. So there you go. I've left that for about 30 seconds. What I'm not going to do is touch it, because I don't want I want it to kind of solidify a little bit before I go doing it. But if I use a nice little microfiber cloth and just very carefully rub everything off, and there you have it. You generally can't see it now, which is why I like the PPF film, and it has a lifespan, I guess, of about 4 to 5 years. But there you go. So that is basically that part. We're going to do the top tank, then we'll pull the bike out and we'll have a go at the main parts of the tank. But this is a good idea, just a little bit of practice to build you up for doing the tank. But yeah, there you go, nice and simple. On to the next bit. Okay, spray that bit. Actually, the top tank section is in 2 parts. So once again, just spray a little bit of the solution on the fingers. I didn't bore you with the hairdryer scene, because you basically just need to pre-warm the plastic. Spray that. And this bit will go on. Now, so this is where you're going to need some heat to make sure that the top stretches. I don't know how well you can see that, but basically we're going to line it up as best we can with the bottom area, because there's a curve on the top and on the sides. That's where you need to be a little bit patient. It's like you say, you poke it down there and it pops up there, but that's where the hairdryer is going to become your friend. They do say even just the heat from your fingers helps. As I say, I'm not an expert in this, but I've done a couple of bikes in the past, and practice makes perfect, as they say. But yeah, happy with that. There you go. On to the next bit. I don't usually complain a lot in my videos, but my GoPro batteries are shocking. You've just unfortunately missed all of the fitting of the top area because the GoPro battery cut out, so I'm not really impressed with that. We're going to do the side panel now. I'm a bit apprehensive because the last time I did this on a KTM Super Adventure, I spent £130 on the film, and it went disastrously wrong, and I had to screw it up and put it all in the bin, and I went down to a professional fitter. But this is a lot flatter. There are a few curves on there, but we're going to give it a go. So the first thing I've done is basically cut it out as best I can, but still kept it on the adhesive backing just to kind of offer it up to see where I'm kind of working at. So there are a few curves on there that is going to take a little bit of manipulation, but we'll give it a go. Okay, same as before. So I've wiped it all down. We are just going to coat this, do the finger trick. Okay, so instructions say to line up the GS logo first, which is probably a good place to start. So let's get it on. And the idea of squeegeeing out from the center is sort of to get it semi-tacky. Okay, without tempting fate, so far so good. Okay, that took longer than anticipated, and I didn't film it all because there was a lot of effing and jeffing and a lot of me concentrating and not talking to the camera, but it's fantastic. It's come out really well. I'm really pleased with it. What I will say is the tank panels here on the side are the hardest because you've got to manipulate the film that way and then also up and down as well. So hairdryer and heat is going to be your friend for doing that, and obviously make sure you use plenty of the spray as well. But overall, I'm really happy with how it's come out. There's 5 bits in the kit, so there's one little bit which I suggest you start with. Then you've got a second section just up the top there that covers that. Then you've got a third section that covers this area, and then obviously 4 and 5 either side of your tank kit. But for me, you can't actually see where it starts or finishes, and I like that because it kind of retains the original look of the original paintwork, and obviously that's why I went for the triple black, because I really like the tank. So there you have it, that's all done. I'm going to take her out for a quick ride now. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you did, like and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you next weekend where we're back at BMW Wollaston in Northampton for the 3rd BMW bike review, and we're going to be on a R1250 RT for the weekend. So take care, enjoy the rest of the weekends, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.